I, 26 female, have a pre-tween daughter. My ex, 28 male, wasn't involved in her life by his own choosing. Back in December he reached out. It took some time, talking and a little therapy. He's been back in our daughter's life for about 4 months now. We're working with the courts to establish paternity and for him to get custody. In the meantime, I've never let him visit at my place. He's taken her on day trips. Since getting a bigger apartment, he's had her spend the night. He was supposed to visit her Wednesday, have dinner with us and watch a movie. Per the therapist's recommendation, we try to do things the three of us do so she can see us get along. My ex said he'd be over around 6 p.m. He didn't show up. By 6:30 my daughter was hungry, so I fed her. I tried to put off the movie but eventually let her watch it. She was disappointed about her dad not showing up. I put her to bed at 9. 11:30 my ex calls freaking out. He said he forgot we were supposed to have dinner. He only remembered because his girlfriend came home from work and asked how everything went. Rather than apologizing, he got mad at me and asked why I didn't call him. I said I'm not going to chase him down. I'd already spent 9 months doing that when I was pregnant, begging him to be in her life. I'm not going to do that now. It's up to him to make an effort and remember this stuff. We had therapy the next day and she was on my side. However, my ex insists that I should have called. I'm frustrated that he hasn't tried to apologize to our daughter. My mom said that I should have called. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. He's just mad his girlfriend saw him for the deadbeat father that he is. Ignore your mom. Listen to the therapist. Yeah, because you know that girlfriend is the only reason he's doing this anyway. This is the classic case of an ex's new partner starting to ask why they don't have contact with their kid. Those people are not trying to establish contact for the child or their own sake. It's just trying to hide true selves from the new partner. Also, Opie's mom wearing her internalized misogyny loud and proud. My dad did this too. It's such a classic. The handful of times I saw him, it was always with a new girlfriend who had kids, and I'd always end up being a babysitter. When he finally met his future wife, he tried to convince me that my mom was a witch and that I could move in with them and be a happy family. The kicker is he always sent a mass email to all of his contacts the same day, saying how he was so happy he was done paying the state for child support, that he wished he'd made different choices in life, and that he was excited to start the next chapter of his life. I was his only child. I stopped talking to him after that. OP, it's not your responsibility to keep your ex on schedule. As a 28-year-old adult, he should take responsibility for himself and his time. Truth. He knows his girlfriend now realizes that she's banging a guy who, a 28 years old deadbeat loser, and thinking, do I want this? Plus ex does want to keep the girlfriend, so he's freaking out. OP, I want your kiddo to have great parental support, and I get that you want that too, and so you're helping her stupid parent try to be adequate. But I think I would take this at least as strike 1 of 3, and if he can't work out how to take responsibility, it strikes 2 as well. Having a second parent, but having that parent be a detrimental presence, is not a net win, you know. One thought, maybe set up a shared calendar so that when you have activities that are planned, it can go on the shared calendar. Look, it's not OP's or anyone else's job to remind him he needs to have dinner with his kid. In this day and age, people can put reminders on their phones for that. At the end of the day, OP has been a single mom figuring it out for so many years. She shouldn't have to update a calendar for him. Tell him to start keeping his own calendar. It's still a fine option to help out, but honestly, it's up to OP to decide how much she wants to put up with it. My wife and I are currently living with her father temporarily. He is a very meticulous person, which I respect. He likes to devote every Saturday to cleaning. I picked up my oldest child from my ex Friday night. He's a young tween. My father-in-law wanted him to participate in cleaning the whole house today. I said he didn't need to because he hadn't participated in creating any mess. My father-in-law insisted everyone in the house needed to participate. Still, I said no, that he needed to unpack and settle in. My father-in-law was very insistent. He said that under his roof, he would insist upon his way of doing things. My wife said we must respect her father and abide by his rules in his house. I said no. I said he could kick me out if he wanted, but I make the decisions for my son, and the answer is no. My father-in-law has been furious all day and demanded an apology. I apologized, but I still didn't make my son participate in the cleaning. My wife is upset with me for upsetting her father. I feel that I make the decisions for my children regardless of whose home I'm in. Does that belief make me an idiot? There's an obvious answer to this dilemma. Your father-in-law provides a nice home so your tween son is in a safe and clean environment. A tween is capable of understanding reciprocity. Why do you think he should only have to clean when he makes a mess? Isn't it more appropriate to explain that helping to clean is a gesture of appreciation for the kindness father-in-law has shown letting you and your son live and stay there? You are the idiot, not just for disrespecting your father in his own house. You've also let your son down by not giving him the opportunity to learn that it's best to pay kindness with kindness. I also want to pile this on. I live near a university, so there are lots of dorms and apartments. Having roommates is the norm. I cannot count how many students rant about their filthy roommates, boy or girl, who have no clue about how to clean their spaces and dorms and how disrespectful they are to the other household members. Filthy roommates just expect others to clean up after them. So, in addition, OP also failed to give his son the opportunity to learn how to clean the house he currently resides in and teach respect to other people's living spaces. His son has not created any of the mess, so not the same situation at all. There's a major difference between teaching a child to clean up after themselves versus expecting them to clean up after you. OP can give his son the opportunity next Saturday after he's contributed to the mess. I'm with you. OP's not the idiot. I was a child forced to do dishes and clean for hours on Friday nights when I hadn't been at that parent's house for 2 weeks. I will say it has created some issues for me, especially regarding doing dishes. If it's a week that the son has been there, sure, he can participate in the Saturday cleaning. But helping to clean a house he had nothing to do with? I don't know, man. We hosted my brother, Aaron, 36 male, and his family for a week. He was in the city we live in for a work event and thought he could use the opportunity to catch up with us as a family. His family includes his wife, Amy, 35, and their sons, tween and pre-tween. My wife, Juliet, 34, and I, 32 female, live with our twins, pre-tween male and female, in a spacious house, so overall we were thrilled to have them over. Our kids were also very excited to see their cousins. Juliet is a physician and is also very devoted to her profession. We have a room with several shelves in our house that we only use for reading. Juliet still keeps many of her old textbooks and new books, journals, etc. there and gives them a read every other day. She prefers paper copies of most books. She adores her books and takes excellent care of them. Our kids often join her for these reading sessions, as do I. They bring their homework, I bring my laptop, and Juliet opens a book on her laptop simultaneously. She leaves the books on the table sometimes. Even though we haven't told them not to, our kids never touch her books or my laptop. While Aaron's family was with us, I was surprised by how uncontrollable my nephews were. My brother and sister-in-law also never told them not to do something, which probably exacerbated the situation. On the last day they were with us, they went as far as using markers and drawing over some pictures in Juliet's books. She asked our nephews if they'd done it, and they proudly announced that they had, and also asked if they'd done a good job. Juliet was absolutely furious and disappointed, but didn't say anything other than, "These aren't colouring books, and you shouldn't touch other people's belongings without asking first." She asked me to talk to my brother about this. I told Aaron about the incident and said it was clear his kids have no sense of discipline. He accused me of raising my kids like they were in the military and said doing things like this was part of a normal childhood. The argument escalated from there and got very bad. We now still don't talk the way we used to. It has me thinking if we were overreacting. Am I the idiot? I may be wrong because they're kids and boys, and I may be exaggerating. Not the idiot. 1, 2, or maybe a 3-year-old would use markers to colour in adults' books. Kids their age attend school and most certainly know better than to mark up adult books with a marker. I'm certain the school nor the parents allow them to destroy school textbooks or their parents' books without any consequences. Therefore, given their ages, it seems highly probable that they deliberately destroyed your wife's books, with full knowledge it was wrong, either as a prank or because they don't like your wife, or because they've heard their parents saying negative things about her reading room or her books and thought their parents would think it was funny. In my opinion, there's zero chance that they didn't deliberately choose to destroy her books, knowing it was wrong. And your brother is teaching his kids to be no more accountable for their actions than he's willing to be. You're not overreacting. They damage your property and face no consequence. and your brother tried to deflect away from it with a boys will be boys argument. If I were in your shoes, I probably wouldn't allow them back until it's addressed. You have no reason to believe that your possessions will be safe and respected when they're present. Absolutely, I wouldn't have dreamed of behaving this way at their age, and I had a very lax upbringing. The trouble is, once they grow up, they will still be disrespectful gits, just not tiny and cute anymore. Just send your brother the bill for replacing all those books. Medical textbooks and journals cost a bomb. Once your brother realizes that his parenting style has real-world consequences for both himself and his brats, they are all going to learn a lesson in social etiquette. Put a lien on your brother for the cost till he repays it all. I've just proposed to my girlfriend of 1 year, Megan. She had a dust-up with my sister, Roseanne, and when I defended her, my sister went off on me and told me off. Megan is really into skincare. I can't even count the amount of skincare stuff she has, but she looks great, so she's doing something right. She has a morning routine and a bedtime routine. She says they aren't complicated to me, but I'm a guy. My skincare is washing my face in the shower and before bed if I remember. I can't follow what Megan does, but it makes her happy, so I support it. Megan has tried to bond with Roseanne over skincare, but it's not working. According to Megan and Roseanne's skincare is lots of sleep, water, sunscreen, and no smoking, tanning or makeup ever. Megan was a bit shocked when Roseanne said that. She says that's no routine at all. The no makeup, even at her wedding, also threw Megan for a loop, but it's more about the skin for her. I honestly never thought about it before I met Megan. For Roseanne's birthday, Megan and I gave her a gift card to a Sephora store because they have a bunch of skincare stuff. We just found out it's still unused almost a year later. Twice, Megan has left or dropped off a bag or basket of skincare products with a list of steps, and they're just gathering dust in Roseanne's bathroom. When Megan saw the first bag unused when we were visiting Roseanne, she tried again and left some stuff for Roseanne. This led to Roseanne telling Megan to shut up about skincare and telling her off. I defended Megan because she was just trying to do something nice, and Roseanne was an idiot to her. Roseanne told me off too. Megan said the first couple of times she met Roseanne, she listened when Megan talked about skincare. Roseanne also bought Megan some of her favourite stuff after stalking her social media. Roseanne doesn't even have social media. Megan was trying to do something nice for Roseanne. Roseanne said Megan couldn't take a hint. Roseanne was also mad because Megan didn't talk to my dad, brother, brother-in-law, or either of my grandfathers about skincare. Just her, the only woman in my family. But they're like me, and Megan knows that. Roseanne won't even talk to Megan now. She told me off too, and Megan was just trying to do something nice. Roseanne is 38, and Megan says women can't afford to be lax about skincare as they age. This applies to Megan too, which is why she takes such good care of her skin. I want Roseanne to apologize for telling Megan off, but she says I'm dreaming, and my dad and brother are trying to get me to forget it. I'm 35, Megan is 34, and Roseanne is 38 if it makes any difference. You are the idiot. Your fiancée is concerned about her looks and aging process, and she can't understand how any woman isn't. So rather than trying to be friendly with your sister and bond over mutual interests, she tries to force her into the same feminine mold she has. The best preventative aging product is sunscreen, and Rose is doing that. She's doing better than so many people. Being consistent with sunscreen is one of the most common issues I see on skincare forums. LOL, dude. There is no way in Hades you are this daft. Your fiancé is rude as can be at worst, or as clueless as they come at best. How your sister manages her skin is her business and hers alone. Megan should have taken the hint when she noticed the initial gift went unused. But no, she doubled down and brought another unwanted gift for your sister, then topped it off with a gift card to Sephora. Are you serious right now? Megan owes Rose a huge apology. For some reason, I feel there's probably an MLM shill going on, and my sister is tired of it. Sympathies to Roseanne. It must be hard to engage with someone who has decided your worldview are worthless because you don't follow a skin routine. Megan owes your sister an apology and needs to change her behaviour, and you need to see clearly the type of person you're engaged to. I, 30 male, recently inherited the house we grew up in after our parents passed away. My sister, 27, and I were very close, but she was very distant and largely estranged from our parents. The parents' house holds a lot of sentimental value for us. However, the house is in a different state. and it's not practical for me to move there or maintain it as a second home. I've been dealing with all the legal and financial aspects since I was named the executor of the estate. It's been a stressful time, and the expenses related to the house, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, have been a significant burden. I decided to sell the house, use the money to pay off some of my student loans and invest the rest. However, when I told my sister about the sale, she was livid. She said that she had plans to buy the house from the estate and keep it in our family. She's accused me of being selfish and not considering her feelings, but she never mentioned her plans to me, and I can't afford to wait indefinitely for her to be ready to buy the house. I've offered to split the profits from the sale with her, but she's not interested and is barely speaking to me. I feel terrible about the situation, but I don't feel like I've done anything wrong. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. Would it have killed you to text her, "Hey, thinking of selling the house, want to go first?" Also, why are you the only one to inherit from your parents? Did she get something else, or did you decide to sell something that belonged to the both of you? Yeah, something is off. So your sister's relationship with your parents was strained, but you considered your relationship with your sister to be close, yet you never mentioned your plans to sell the house you inherited, and you're mad because she never mentioned her plans to me. Dude, what? I was wondering that too. Giving one child the house seems unfair, and OP knew the childhood home would be sentimental to her. Giving her a heads up before you put the house on the market was a common courtesy between family, a very obvious one. Even if you knew she didn't have the means or desire to buy the house, you should have told her in case she wanted to visit the place she grew up in one last time. Exactly. Selling a house is an enormous task. It wasn't something you just woke up one day and did. You planned the sale and had time to give her the first chance at it. It seems like you purposely avoided telling her. I strongly suspect that you are not the sole inheritor of the property and are offering her half she rightly owns. Still, she'd planned to buy you out and is upset you sold it. I suspect she will go legal on this one.